Hi, I'm Gavin,
And I'm Dave.
and you're on the fringe.
Come along with us for a ride on a podcast where we talk about an area or a thing going on in the world that needs more attention, just like you do. Let's go.
On the fringe. Here we go.
Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to On the Fringe. This is Dave, and I'm here with Gavin. And today we're going to be talking about a law that is very, very strict and a law that trips people up for reasons that I guess they are maybe not even sure that they're in violation of this law, but they're finding themselves in a heap of trouble for breaking it.
A whole mess of trouble. And this, of course, is the lèse-majesté law in the Kingdom of Thailand. Now, Dave, can you just very quickly run through what that is?
So, the lèse-majesté law is a law in Thailand. It violates the country's national security because it is insulting, defaming, or threatening members of the Thai royal family. So basically, anybody in Thailand that has ties to the Thai royal family, say that a couple times fast, is protected by the Thai constitution and the Thai criminal code. So,
And this law, as I understand it, and I did live in Thailand a long time ago, is very broad, to put it mildly, and can be interpreted in a panoply of ways, I guess. Um, so Dave, why is this in the news right now?
well, there was an American academic, Paul Chambers, who was
Hmm.
recently arrested in Thailand, and apparently he's innocent. He said he did not actively intend to insult the royal family in Thailand, but a group posted his bio. There's a group that's hosting a symposium, and they
Hmm.
posted up his bio on the website. And well, there's some language that could be maligning or it could be actively insulting the king. And well, the Thai government is not happy. So they basically called for him to come to the police station, and he did. And they said, well, you're in violation of Section 112 of the Thai Criminal Code, and we're going to lock you up. And this isn't just, 6 months to a year in jail. Minimum is 3 years, minimum for breaking this law. And you could even break this law if you're in Thailand, if you've never visited before. They have pictures of the Thai king virtually everywhere. They have
Yeah.
pictures of the king on money, they have pictures of the king by subway stations, by the MRT. And if you do something as okay, you kick some dirt or something on one of the pictures of the Thai King, or you have money and you step on the money with the Thai King's face on it, you could be charged with this. Could be 100% unintentional, but it's still possible for you to be charged under this law.
Yeah. And this is a obviously massive freedom of speech issue. And it's basically been deployed by the government in the past to crack down on freedom of speech because criticizing. So here's the hilarious thing: criticizing the lèse-majesté law is itself a violation of the lèse-majesté law. So even being critical of Section 112 is violating Section 112. Um, it's a very draconian restriction on freedom of speech. It's also been used more, mostly since 2020. It's been used much more liberally than it was in the past. It's not that it wasn't used in the past, it was, but it seems to be used much more these days. And it's something of have I ever told you about, I don't know, I guess this is an anecdote or maybe a theory, the Chinese tax law. So, in the People's Republic of China, I think it's the only country in the world where basically misreporting your taxes is a death penalty offense.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, you have
if
told me about this a little bit.
yeah, if you commit fraud by misreporting your income for tax purposes, that is a capital punishment offense. Well, as someone who's lived there, in the People's Republic of China, everyone misreports their taxes. Like it's just something that pretty much everyone does. The key thing is if the government wants to really put you over the coals, if you have really upset someone, they 100% have you for tax violations. And this is kind of what's going on with the lèse-majesté law. Because it's so broad and it's so open to interpretation, if you really upset someone, it kind of doesn't matter. I doubt. I mean, again, because this Paul Chambers has been working in Thailand for like decades, I think
Hmm.
for over 30 years. This is a guy who knows the ground. I sincerely doubt he put anything down in writing that could be interpreted as a violation of this law. But I also guarantee you that he rubbed someone the wrong way. And they found a way of reporting him to use this as leverage. And
Yep.
that's what these kinds of laws are. They're a way to pressure people you don't like in creative and quite dire kind of way. Because now he's looking at a 3 year minimum sentence.
And on
Uh,
top of that, this has to be investigated by the Royal Thai Police. So this isn't just something where they go, okay, this guy potentially broke this law. We'll just, stack it up over here. They're going to go and actively investigate it because it jeopardizes Thai national security. So you have, I don't know, you could say people in Thailand that are very well connected and they're committing, some sort of corruption or, they're involved with drugs or doing anything like that. If you bring up this charge against them, this charge is very likely going to stick more than those other charges, which is maybe something that we as Americans look at and go, this is very strange. This is very weird. But in Thailand, insulting the king is the worst possible thing that you can do.
well, particularly when you can get charged for it. I
Hmm.
mean, I also think there's definitely a generational difference as well, where you have to remember that uh, the core of this law comes out of the fact that Thailand, like most countries, had a very colorful 20th century, was an absolute monarchy that moved to something that's on paper a constitutional monarchy, but the king is still very powerful. There was also, I was reminded of this on my last trip. There's also, like a 30-year communist insurgency that kind of pushed the state into some interesting places. And consequently, the monarchy was the nation. The previous king, particularly, was the embodiment of the nation in a lot of ways that I think that individual was able to handle well, but is probably not healthy long term. And Thais recognize this, but it's been such a part of the culture and it has been so thoroughly ingrained in the legal framework that it is very difficult to remove it. I
Hmm.
mean, it's interesting too, because, and again, I was there recently. It's still such a conservative country in some ways, and then it isn't in others. For an American, going to Thailand is interesting because it's conservative, but just legalized gay marriage
And weed.
and legalized weed a while ago. No one has any real problems with this. I mean, they had some friction about weed, but that wasn't really much of a big deal. Gay marriage, I mean, literally, you would not have been able to tell anything had happened.
Hmm.
Like, no one cared about it. It was a total yawn. Just not a thing. Talking about the king? Oh, that's a much bigger deal. So, you go there and you go, oh, this country doesn't seem that conservative. Well, they're not conservative about a lot of things in a way that a Westerner might recognize, but they are conservative about some things. And insulting an authority figure that represents the nation, that represents the Buddhist character of Thailand, e- e- even when the individual in question has made some interesting life choices, yeah, it's kind of a big thing.
Well, I think too, the average tourist is not really aware of domestic Thai politics. And
Yeah.
I think the average tourist probably doesn't know how strict this law is. And there have only been a handful of cases of tourists actually being charged with violating Section 112. But I mean, still, the Thais are very, very strict in terms of things that they're very, I guess, very devout and very steadfast in believing.
Mm.
And if you insult one of those things, regardless of what it is, you're going to get hammered and you're going to get hammered hard.
So this is actually there are other things in Thailand. Despite the fact that like every other tourist you meet has a Buddha tattoo, please don't disrespect Buddhist icons in any way, shape, or form. Also, if you're going to Sri Lanka, really don't do that.
Hmm.
There have been numerous cases of people with tattoos of the Buddha getting arrested at the airport. They take this very seriously. Just because they're a Buddhist country doesn't mean they're low key. Um, you do not want to. It again. You wouldn't go into a church wearing a bikini, probably. Don't don't go into a Wat wearing a bikini. That won't go over well either.
Hmm.
Um, don't walk into just generally be respectful and don't do things that you wouldn't do at home. I don't think if there's a big I'm trying to think of a non-offensive example and I'm coming up short. Just just fucking behave sensibly, please.
Yeah.
I mean, with the 112 thing, the simplest advice is if you're going to Thailand, like it's fine to read about politics. It's fine to have opinions about the king. Don't fucking throw them out there in public.
Hmm. And
It
if you're
be
on the road and the road gets closed because the king's got to go through and you're late for your flight or you miss your flight or almost miss your flight, which seriously happened to me the first time I went.
Oh, it did.
Yes. Didn't miss my flight, came very, very close. Please do not get angry. Don't get mad at the king. Don't get mad at the taxi driver because you're not going to be having fun. Just
No, no one's
just
having
sit there
fun.
and relax and go,
Chill
okay,
out.
this is how it is. This is Thailand, and there's absolutely nothing that I can do about it because it's the kingdom of Thailand. It's his country, it's his territory, and ultimately the rules are going to be set by the monarchy.
It
So,
uh, it honestly, first of all, I'm surprised by that because he barely lives in Thailand. He's in
yeah.
Bavaria most of the year. Um, But man, th- Thailand's not the only country where this is something of an issue. I can name a whole bunch of places in the Gulf where, yeah, they might not have this law on the books, but going around talking smack about the royal family, not a good idea. Don't do it. Don't do it. There's
Some
one
sound advice, and other countries in Asia as well.
yes. I mean, generally, look, if you're going to a country on holiday, you can have opinions on the place. That's fine. Do not get involved in local politics in a vocal way, particularly if you don't know very much.
Hmm.
Actually, I would say, especially if you don't know very much. If you know a shit ton about the country and you are like connected with people on the ground and you have experience, okay. If you don't and you go, well, that seems fucking dumb, okay, it may be. Maybe don't tell everyone you meet. Um, definitely some countries do not tell everyone you meet. Um, but yeah, look, again, if you wouldn't do it at home, don't do it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I think to go back to the Chinese tax law, there are countries where you have to assume that if you anger someone, they will find a way of getting back at you.
Hmm.
So watch what you do. Don't go out of your way to piss people off.
Very
I
good sound advice.
please be nice to people.
Yep.
Oh, anyways, that concludes Sunday school for the week. Um, so thank you so much. This is On the Fringe. All the best for me and Dave. Like, comment, or subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.